AGL Resources, the owner of Atlanta's natural gas utility, agreed to buy Nicor back in December for $2.4 billion in cash and stock. The new company will be the leader in U.S. natural gas and will serve 4.5 million customers across the nation. Yesterday, I sat down with John Somerholder, the CEO of AGL Resources and chairman of the American Gas Association. He addressed concerns about possible price changes.
What we anticipate in the short term is we'll be able to continue to manage costs very effectively. Both companies manage costs very well. What this will allow us to do in the long run, though, is keep those costs lower. So over the long term, we do see customers benefiting from the efficiencies that we'll have, economies of scale and best practices.
Is that specifically how you feel you're going to be able to keep costs down?
That's correct. Economies of scale very much help when you develop systems and other programs, and then learning lessons, best practices between the two companies. Both of those things will help us.
Was the merger's cost savings estimate ever announced?
No, it has not been announced. What we're doing now is looking at the right way to deal with the synergies and the benefits. And so that's what we're doing right now. We've got a very detailed transition team that's looking at the best way to do that.
Do Illinois regulators want anything specifically in terms of cost savings to customers and job preservation?
Based on what I've talked to the commissioners about and what we know about what they want, is it's very important that they have the continued quality of service in Illinois that Nicor had provided. They also want the same cost trend. Nicor had been a low-cost provider, so they want to preserve that. So quality service, reasonable rates, and jobs are important. Jobs are important in all the states we operate. So the commitment we made around jobs in the area was also very important to them. So those are the type of things we've seen that they've looked for so far.
And speaking of Nicor, it has access to 8 interstate pipelines in the Midwestern U.S., and that deal is going to allow AGL usage of Nicor's storage facilities and access to the shale gas fields. How much quicker is this going to allow you to expand?
We think just the abundance of natural gas in this country right now, with the shale developments that you correctly identified, we've seen the shale production go from 1% of our production 10 or 12 years ago to 20% of our production because of how prolific those basins are. That really makes our natural gas supply abundant, affordable, and largely domestic. 98+% of the natural gas we use in this country comes from North American sources, high 80% from U.S. That is really important when you look at our balance of trade and other issues.
Are moves like this, mergers like this, the wave of the future, in your opinion?
I think in this industry, you can have companies that operate on a more regional basis very efficiently. That can work as well. As a company, we believe, though, that consolidation does bring over the long-term benefits to the consumer. So we see that. And you've seen some other announced mergers in the utility industry lately as well. So we do see that in certain regions, it can make a lot of sense.
I have to ask, because it might be a sensitive topic, but Nicor's willingness to sell, how much was that due to the CEO, Russ Strobel's desire to step down? He stands to make millions from this merger.
Russ's goal was to provide value for his employees, his customers, and his shareholders. And he really saw the benefits of the combined company, the consolidation, the type of things we've talked about, economies of scale, best practices, how well our unregulated businesses fit together. So Russ's motivation was to provide value to all of those constituencies.
There is a little bit of a wrench in this deal because Nicor and its board are being sued by an investors group. They say that the proposed $2.5 billion sale to AGL is too low. How do you respond to that?
We paid a fair price for a very good company. We're bringing together two very good companies. So we feel very good that the merger is not in only in the best interest of customers, employees, those type of groups.
And that was John Somerholder, the CEO of AGL Resources. Walmart's pushing Americans to fill their carts with healthier food. The retail giant will announce a 5-year plan today to lower fat, salt, and sugar contents in a bulk of its great value brand foods. It also will reduce prices on fresh fruits and vegetables. First Lady Michelle Obama plans to take part in today's announcement in Washington. Mrs. Obama has been a part of Walmart's initiative since the early planning stages more than a year ago. It's the first time the First Lady is backing a single company. Walmart also wants its other major food suppliers, like Kraft, to follow its lead. Coming up on Bottom Line, one software maker goes from being one of the most talked about small businesses to falling the most in the market in more than 8 years. We'll talk to the CEO about the challenges his company faces. John McAdam of F5 Networks will join us when Bloomberg's Bottom Line continues in just a moment.